What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sabby. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Welcome to my channel, Self Mastery. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing signs that you are dating a narcissist. Now, this is a serious topic for many people, especially if you're going through this right now and you're watching this video for clarification, or you're just trying to figure out, am I with a narcissist or not? And that's something that it's crucial. You need to know, because as soon as you find out that you are with a narcissist, you must leave, plan an exit strategy, right? So you have to watch this with full attention. Watch this with full awareness. There's a lot of information I'm going to be sharing. And the reason why is because I've also dated a narcissist for a period of time. Now, I wasn't in a super long relationship, like, 2, 3, 4 years. I wasn't in that, length of time with that person, but I definitely was with that person for several months. And I can tell you this for sure, that it is a roller coaster of a ride. It's just a crazy relationship to be in. It's something very toxic, unhealthy, and it leaves you feeling a whole different mixture of emotions, and it's not really a healthy place to be in. So if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, or at least you're thinking that your partner may be a narcissist, continue watching this video, because I'm going to show you or point out signs that you're dealing with someone that is a narcissist. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, before I get into the signs of a narcissist, I want to sort of give a background on what a narcissist really is, right? Now, psychology talks about NPD, or narcissistic personality disorder, and they say roughly, I think 6% of the population is affected by it. 1 in every 20 people you meet may be a narcissist, right? Now, this is all diagnosis done from the psychological department. But right now, they don't know really the true statistic of how many people there really are that are undiagnosed, right? That carry these traits around. So the number could be higher. But I want to talk about, what makes a narcissist a narcissist. Now, it has to do with childhood upbringing. Most of the time, narcissism is something that is, it's developed in a child at a young age, psychologically, right? It's not something that you're born with, even though some people say that genetics play a role. Sure, to a degree, but I highly believe, and I highly know that it's mostly the environment that you're in, your upbringing, your parents. Parents play a big role when it comes to, raising a narcissist child. And they're the ones to really take the blame for that. But you see, the thing is that with children that are narcissists or develop narcissistic, personalities as they age, it's because at a young age, their feelings are invalidated, right? So children are usually praised for their self-image rather than, their true authentic self, who they really are within, their emotions, what they feel, things like that. And they don't get that adequate love from their parents, the genuine love, right? Where, if a child makes a mistake, parents, let it go, or, they let the child know that, hey, it's okay, you made a mistake, and they genuinely still love you. But with narcissists, right, their parents completely invalidate all of that, right? They only promote their child in front of other people, other friends or peers, or it's more of like a social thing. Oh, my child is like this. They're always highlighting their accomplishments, their achievements, all these sort of things. But then behind closed doors, right, they're completely ignoring the child, right? Don't really care about how the child is, or what he's thinking, what he wants, what he's desiring within, things like that, right? And it eventually lets the child know that, hey, something about me is not good enough, right? That my parents don't treat me or don't love me the way I need to be loved. And I mean, it's all at a subconscious level, right? And consciously maybe too, But deep down, they feel like, they're just, they feel insecure. They don't feel that security that a healthy child feels from his or her parents, right? And so that's why narcissists develop this inherent insecurity that they must always overcompensate for through having this self-image that is, pristine, perfect, and it's always this, that's all it is for them, because that's how they feel that they get love, right? And so look, guys, look, let me say this one thing, okay? It's always been about love. Everything that, all these disorders, all these psychological things, it's because deep down a person, every human being just wants to be loved, right? Genuine love, the love that God or source, is known for, right? Like, when you ever tune into that frequency of divinity, that frequency of high alignment, you feel that love, naturally by yourself. And everybody wants that feeling. Everybody wants that feeling of that loving feeling that love brings. And, when you don't get that, then obviously it turns into weird sort of, it's channelized into weird kind of psychological disorders, where you have a need for power or a need for control or a need to maintain this self-image, or, there's so many other disorders that go hand in hand. But deep down at the root of it, it's just that love wasn't there. The genuine, true love wasn't there, or wasn't provided to that kid. And because of that, this disorder developed. And so as, these kids age, it's all about, trying to be the best, right? Or trying to maintain this self-image of being the best, whether it's socially, social status, or whether it's in a group setting, whether it's in a, whatever kind of environment, work environment, business environment, right? Maybe it's among their peers or friends or family. They have to maintain that self-image like they are this perfect person, right? And so, but deep down, they're not. Deep down, it's actually a lack of self-love, right? That's really what it is. And obviously you can blame the parents, but eventually, the kids themselves don't, or the kids that develop this NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, as they grow up, they also don't have self-love for them because they never understood the concept of love, right? The true unconditional love, not the romantic love that Disney movies portray, right? I'm talking about that genuine love that's healthy, that's necessary for nurturing. So, as they grow older, guess what happens, right? They don't have that self-love. And for them, they still have this feeling of emptiness inside, this feeling of insecurity. They have this void within them that they try to fill up with, compliments based on their self-image or approval, validation, always trying to, be the top of their game, right? So basically it's always about grandiosity, right? It's always about this inflated sense of ego. They always try to make themselves to be like, like the caviar of food, you know how it is. Because if you're dating someone, or if you know someone like this, I know definitely some names are coming to mind right now, but that's just really what makes a narcissist. Now, is this something curable? Long term, I think you would really need to have some sort of deep spiritual awakening. That person would, right, to realize the folly of their ways. But most of the time, these people are, just stuck in that kind of routine or habit of who they really are. And even if they're aware of it, it's just something that's just second nature to them. And, it's just something that they've learned to adapt with, because that's really how they cope in society. That's really how they function in society. Without that, right, everything that they've built within themselves is going to literally break down. And that's really the fact of it all, is because for them, the egoic self-image is everything, right? Is everything. And so if that is to even get a little, crack in that image, it's for them, it's like the end of the world. Literally, it's like destroying for them, and they will go at crazy lengths to protect that image. But anyways, let's go into sign number 1 that you may be dating a narcissist. Because look, guys, I've been in this myself, and I can tell you this from experience that it was just a whole crazy situation, man. That's all I gotta say. It was crazy situation from the get-go, right? And honestly, the reason I even was in this, to be honest, in the beginning, was because of feelings of, wow, this is a really beautiful looking person, then obviously feelings of lust were involved. And then next thing you know, I did develop emotions, attached to this person, but then I realized that this is not what it seems to be. And so I cut it off eventually, right? And I'm still thankful and blessed that everything worked out in my favor, because sometimes things can get really messy. But anyways, I digress. Sign number one that you're dating a narcissist is, in the beginning, they're very charming, right? Super charming, to the point where you're also sometimes just left like awestruck, right? Now, if you're a very gullible person, or if you're someone that, doesn't really or can't really read people for who they truly are, or, isn't really good at reading energy, for example, you're probably going to get sucked into this, right? Because they're going to literally love bomb you, right? It's called love bombing, because they're going to shower you with compliments. They're going to praise how good you look. They're going to praise how smart you are, how talented you are. They're going to say all these different compliments to you, right? And you're just going to be like, wow, man, this person's so nice. He's so genuine. He's so real, like he really loves me, and all these things. And that's from a perspective that, if you really cannot tell their utmost inner intentions, you're going to feel that way. But if you're someone that really knows how to read energy, you can tell that it's all fake. Everything that they're doing, it's all a setup. It's all for the show, right? It's just how they make their entrance. That's really how it is. So they're going to try to really, get in through that kind of love bombing way. They're going to just shower you with outrageous compliments, right? And the reason I say outrageous is because sometimes it's just over the top, right? And you're just like, okay, and it's not something that you genuinely say from the bottom of your heart, like normal, healthy people say, like, yo, man, I really appreciate you, man. You're a really good person, right? It's not that, those kind of compliments. It's compliments like, like, for example, one of the compliments I got was like, you're the perfect person that I've ever come across, and you're the perfect husband you'll ever be for me, and all these kinds of things. And you're just like, you're left like, like confused almost in a way. And especially if you're someone that's been single for a while, or if you're looking desperately for love, or if you're needy for love, you're going to fall into these traps, right? You're gonna be like, wow, I think I just found, my soulmate, it was perfect and everything. And I don't blame you, because that's really how they make their grand entrance, right? Is by charming people. But anyways, let's get to sign number two. Sign number two is they are pretty much going to portray themselves as this immaculate, pristine person, right? They're gonna present themselves to be this high class, posh individual, right? Now, it may not even be high class, posh, but whatever persona that they want to show you, or they're trying to portray to you, that's literally, they're going to defend it until the day, like, they die. Like, I promise you, that's really how it is. Unless they decide to change personas too, because that can also happen, that they can decide to change personas based on the situation or environment that they are placed in. Now, you guys got to be very careful, right? Now, in certain situations, they'll try to be like, a very high class, pristine person, right? Who's trying to fit into this, maybe this corporate environment, or maybe trying to fit into this, upper class environment. But when it comes to maybe another environment where, it's like religious, or it's sort of like very, spiritual, things like that, they're going to try to portray themselves to be part of that, right? Like, oh, I'm super religious, right? Like, I pray 5 times a day, or I do this, or I do that, I'm always at church, things like that. Or in the spiritual community, they're always going to try to be like, oh, they're this, they're that, right? So no matter what environment that they're in, they're always portraying this, this image that they are this perfect person. And let me tell you guys this, they will literally go to any lengths to back up this image, right? They're going to tell you lies about themselves. They're going to tell you made up stories. And let me tell you something, guys. With narcissists, it's just lies after lies after lies, right? And the thing with narcissists is, because they've done, studies with the MRI scan, if I'm not mistaken, where literally, like, when narcissists tell a lie, it's like their brain activity shows that it's like they're telling the truth, because they're so deeply they're so deep into the world that they believe. So basically, I would say that I think they live in La La Land, and they believe that La La Land is reality, because literally that's what they think it is. And so deep inside, right, they believe that everything they're saying is factual. Everything they're saying is the truth. And they have no regard for external reality. Whatever external reality is saying, they don't care about it, right? It's whatever they believe in here to be true, that's it. And even though it could be a flat out lie. So these people will literally shape their whole family history, their past relationships, as if, you know, they were the perfect person and everyone else was wrong, right? Or everyone else was you know, out to get them, or things like that. They're gonna make themselves seem like, you know, they can never be wrong. They can never be wrong. So they're gonna literally tell you so many lies, and they're gonna protect those lies like no other. And to them, it's not even lies. It's just, that's just the reality that they've created for themselves in their own mind, in their own imagination, literally. And that's what they're living out. So they're gonna do anything they can to defend that self-image. Sign number 3, right, is, like I just mentioned, I'm just going to carry forward that little statement I said, that they literally just lie and lie and lie. They're almost like pathological liars, right? So if you're dating a narcissist, listen to some of their stories, right? Ask them about their past. Ask them about, because I did the same thing, guys. I did the same thing. I tried to inquire about family life, you know, siblings, past relationships. And from what I got from this narcissist that I was dating, right, the family life was from the beginning, right, was just weird. It was weird. And I don't want to go into too much detail. I don't want to put this person's business out there. But obviously, it just wasn't a healthy family environment, the way that she described it. But also, every time she talked about the family environment, the siblings, or, you know, the sibling environment, or even past relationships, it was always everybody else's fault and never hers, right? So for them, they're always the victim. They're always the victim, and they're always perfect. And everybody else in their life is the abusive one, is the one that's always doing them or has done them wrong, right? So watch out for these signs, because, you know, when you ask them stories, it's just, listen, because it can get very detail oriented. You have to really pick up on these minute details, like, yo, like, something feels off about these stories, right? Some of the other stories they can literally seem like crazy made up stories, right? And for example, like the girl I was with, she literally said her parents died in a car bombing, things like that. And you're just like, at some point, you're just like, what is real and what is not real? It's hard to tell at that point, because they've literally spun you around in a web of lies that it's so hard to get out of, because you don't even know, like, what the authentic person is, like who the authentic person is. Because right now, everything that you maybe have told could be a complete lie. This person could be a complete sham, you know? And it's hard to tell, like, you know, the genuineness of that person anymore, because of just all the lies that they spin around, you know? And they literally have no remorse. They have no guilt. They have no empathy for you, because that's just how they operate, guys. I'm look, I don't mean to sound like, you know, I'm trying to put narcissists on a blast here. I mean, even though, yo, you know, we all need to, but, and I'm not trying to say that they're all, you know, crazy, but this is just the reality of it. This is really who they are. They're just these, you know, they're these delusional, grandiose minded individuals where, you know, for them, reality is like a stage play. Literally, that's what it is, you know? But anyways, let's get into sign number 4, which is they gaslight you, right? So gaslighting is pretty much, let me give you an example, right? So what happened in my relationship, and maybe you guys can relate to this if you are dating a narcissist or if you've gone through this yourself, is that, you know, when I was dating this person, she blocked me on Instagram, right? On my Instagram stories. And I saw from another account that I had that she was actually out on several dates with another individual, right? So obviously she was cheating on me, right? And obviously they were probably hooking up and doing other things. And so when I called her out, so I went to go meet her, I saw her and I called her out on all of this, right? And instead of admitting everything, she literally flipped the script on me and made me seem like I was delusional, like I was the crazy one, like I was making up all this stuff, right? And that was just an old time long friend that she had known who was just visiting in town, and there's nothing sexual, it's just we're just friends and all this kind of stuff. And yet she was with this guy for like several dates, not just one but several dates, right? Where they're literally taking pictures together. And then at some point I think she went to go see this guy in a different state and all these things. And so guys, look, they're gonna make you seem like you're the crazy one, and at some point, if you are a gullible individual, if you really don't know, you're gonna start believing these things. You're gonna be like, yo, am I really crazy? Am I really overthinking these things? Am I really making a big deal out of this? Am I maybe I don't have my facts right, things like that, and it's not you, bro. Like, it's not you, bro. It's this person is gaslighting you. That's really what gaslighting is, that they don't want to accept any fault of their own. They're always right, and you're the wrong one, right? They can never do anything wrong. And for them, they could be in a relationship and they can cheat several times, but as long as it's working out for them, they're okay with it. They feel nothing. And that's another sign I'm going to get into. So let's get into that right now. So we'll continue the gaslighting process as well. But the next sign is they lack empathy, guys. So they're not going to have any empathy for any of the actions that they take, right? So maybe, like I said, if they're gaslighting you, they feel no empathy for literally lying to your face and making you seem crazy. If they're cheating on you, if they're a serial cheater, and they're doing all this behind your back and they're lying to you about it, they feel no empathy at all. If they hurt you in any way, physically, emotionally, verbally, they have no empathy at all. They literally have zero empathy, because that's just who these people are. Like, literally, that's who these people are. And it's crazy, because I'm also thinking back on some of the things that, this person did. I've also heard a story where, there was a narcissist where, he physically abused a woman, right? Hit her, and then literally went in the kitchen to go make a sandwich after that, because he just didn't care. Like, he had zero empathy. And so that's who these people are, guys. Like, that's what I'm saying. Be careful, because if it gets violent, if it gets physical, it can be dangerous too, okay? And it can carry out, and it can be abuse that's, that can really mess up your mind, mess up your self-esteem, mess up your, self-image as well. Maybe you might start thinking of yourself as valueless or worthless, and that's something you got to be careful with, and also it can get physically dangerous as well. That's when you got to either, call the cops, or you got to get some professional help at that point, or just leave or get a restraining order. Next thing I want to say is that they don't have any long-term friendships, and they don't have any long-term relationships, guys. So look at this person that you're maybe with, or you just started dating, or obviously if you've been through this, that they don't have long-term friends, right? They're usually in short-term friendships or short-term relationships. And the reason is that they're using these relationships to achieve some sort of ulterior motive. They have some goal, some benefit that they're trying to seek out from each individual. And that's the only reason they consider hanging out with you, or consider making you a friend, or, being in a relationship with you, is because they see themselves getting further up, either in the social hierarchy and the corporate hierarchy. It could be, maybe you can put them on if it comes to like, the music industry, the art industry, whatever they're into. They're going to use you as a stepping stone, or they're going to use you as a ladder to climb up the ranks. And as soon as they're done with you, literally, as soon as you've done, what you needed to do for them, they ghost you, they cut you off, they literally discard you, because that's it. And then they move on to make new short-term friends or new short-term relationships. And these are the kind of people, man, they're pretty common, like I said, in the music industry, maybe in the Hollywood kind of environment, but also in the corporate field as well of work. These people will literally use or do whatever they can to get up and be close to the boss. Think about bosses, right, that are married to like loyal, good women, but then there's that secretary or that one worker right there below them that's trying to get, close to the boss so she can sleep with him, so she can, use that to her advantage. Things like that, guys. You've seen this in movies, but that's literally how they work, and movies are based on psychology, right? So be aware of that. Another sign is that these people will never be in love, right? So if you're dating a narcissist, if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, yeah, you might have sex with them. You might feel like, oh, this person and me, we have really good sex. I really, bond with them. They're not bonding with you guys in the way you think that they are, because deep down, they can never feel any love. They can never feel any love at all. They're just empty inside. And the only way is to just leave. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but I remember being on a date with this girl that I was with, and she told me that she's never been in love before, and she honestly believes and knows that she'll never ever be in love. And the reason is because I didn't pick up at it on the time, because I had never been with a narcissist before, so I didn't know. But it's because she was a narcissist. She was empty inside. She was void of that spiritual connection that, a healthy person may have, she just was far away from that alignment with source, so to speak, and also the reason is because they don't have any self-love, guys. If someone doesn't have any self-love, they can never really love another. That's just really how it is. And so these people lack self-love, and the only thing that sort of gives them a boost is, like I mentioned, compliments, approval, validation, and that's really about it. And then they feel a sense of like, it just boosts up their ego temporarily. It's sort of like a drug hit, right? It just makes you high for a little bit, but then you need more of it to sustain the feeling. And that's really how these people operate, is just like that. Another thing I also want to say is that these people, right, they can be addicted to substances. They can be addicted to alcohol, drugs, like cocaine. They can be, smokers. Because they need that constant fix. They need that constant hit. The reason is, guys, look, they are pretty much looking to feel good long term, right? But the only way they can do that is through drugs or, trying to get these short highs, and they try to prolong these highs. And then obviously that develops into addiction. So if this person is addicted to doing drugs all the time or all these different things, watch out for that. I would say, honestly, a narcissist is a culmination of every single thing I just said. Literally every single thing, all the signs I just mentioned, a narcissist is literally a culmination of all these signs together. Now, one sign, here and there doesn't necessarily mean that it's a narcissist. I know that term is thrown around a lot. But listen, guys, like the person I was with, she exhibited every single trait I just mentioned, every single trait to some degree. And it was just crazy that I didn't pick up on it earlier. Then again, I never knew what a narcissist was. I never had been in a relationship with a narcissist before. But obviously now I have, and I can tell you guys that it's just crazy. It's not a fun place to be, because you're left feeling broken, you're left feeling confused, you're left feeling valueless, you're left feeling just, just not worthy, at the end of the day, and you're hurt, and it's a terrible place to be in. These people will literally use and abuse you until they're done with you and then move on. That's literally what they do. Good thing in my case, I literally ended it and I moved on, and I cut connection, and that was it. This person did try to reach out to me several times, but I just didn't even pay them attention, because I realized that who they really were. I realized what they really were. And so, deep down, I'm a really good person. So I always wish everybody love and blessings. And I pray, people find their way back to God. People find their way back to truth, to light, to enlightenment, to awareness. And I pray that this person I was with, I pray that, she finds the healing she needs. If she can, if she does, I don't know. But without further ado, that's pretty much it, guys. Just be aware, though. I will say this. Just be aware if any of these signs are, if these signs are prominent in the person that you're with right now, or you have gone through this, right? Just be aware of these signs and, leave that relationship, guys. Leave it, because it's literally going to hurt you in so many ways that, you can't imagine. And if you have a kid with a person like this, it's a struggle. I know it, guys. I know it's a struggle. because there's just a lot going on. And I really wish you guys the best, but definitely leave ASAP if you just met this person, or if you just newly started dating this person, or even if you've been in a relationship, right, and you're just looking for guidance, or just looking for hope, or looking for a light out. Guys, like, leave ASAP, grab your stuff, walk away tomorrow if you can, because it's literally, you're ruining your peace of mind over this person. And there's literally millions, billions of people on this planet. You deserve a healthy partner. You deserve a beautiful person to be with, inside and out, a beautiful soul to be with, guys. But anyways, this is the video for today. This is a message for today. Take care, much love, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.